So guys, today we are back with Jason saying in the background there. All right, mate?
Hello.
All right. RS1600i is on the ramp. It is about to go down. If you didn't watch the last videos, you need to go and watch those before watching this one. But this is the accumulation, I'm going to say, of all of the time and effort and talking. And it is now down to the day where stuff starts coming out of the car, doesn't it, Jason?
I'm having my best time.
You're having the best day. So, yeah, if you don't know, this is going to get a turbo engine. The idea being, of course, that back in the day you could Turbo Technics this vehicle up. If you, again, haven't watched the video, go and watch it.
It's having a turbo engine, but that's not to say that there's a few reasons as to why. One, this engine's very tired.
Yes. So it never really worked properly, did it? It wasn't just, you'd go out and it just sometimes wouldn't start, or it just wasn't very happy.
I'm all for authentic and authenticity and keeping stuff original, but with this car, didn't plan to do this. I kind of had that whimsical idea of doing a Turbo Technics conversion, and that's what we're going to do. I want to be able to enjoy this car with some more power without changing it to a Z-Tech, so it still will be CVH. But before we do all that, let's have a little talk about this engine base. So we have started today stripping down some components.
So you have washer bottle here that we were just talking about isn't an RS Turbo thing. No. So that's
one that's sat here.
Come out.
Fuel filter was in the way. Various bits and pieces I've removed, battery. But I want to show you how solid this car is. Yeah. So it's still on its original tray. The wax oil has saved the day. The 40-year-old wax oil has saved it.
Yeah.
So
it's doing very well.
We come on to the idea that on Saturday, which is 2 days from today, the engine and the gearbox and the drive shafts and the brakes are all coming off the car. Then next week we have a visitor.
Make some good content out of this, because it's this, isn't it? It's the wax oil everywhere.
I'm thinking we could just use a degreaser, but we have tried degreaser and it does work to a fashion.
So just down here, if you see this panel,
look how nice this bit is.
Look how lovely that is, and that was done with
just some G101
stuff you got
all-purpose cleaner. But that's on the areas have been very thin. When you look at the wax oil here, it's like 3mm thick. It's really thick. So we are employing a chap from Pro Detailing UK, and he's coming down to the Isle of Wight with this dry ice blaster. Now, I can't think of a more sympathetic way to take this residue off the car. Now, I know I said I'd leave it, but I'm not being funny. If this was your car, would you leave it?
You can't put a brand new lovely engine in there and have all that round it.
I can't even concentrate on it. I wouldn't even want to check the oil on it.
You pop the engine and go,
it kind of stresses me out. Yeah. So here we are, we're now going to have it dry ice blasted, and I hope that it all comes back. Jamie, if you want to come around here.
Yeah,
look at this piece here. So I gave that a quick clean up. Now if that looks like that under there, that is a win.
Yeah, because none of them look like that. Mine don't look like that, and we've done stuff to mine, and mine don't look like that.
I'm under no illusions. Of course, it is going to need some painting areas.
Yeah.
Here, mark my words, here's going to need some work.
Yeah.
Under there is hiding some corrosion. They all rust in this area. I've never had an RS Turbo that hasn't rusted on the flitches. They all do it.
Yeah.
Now, that said, the battery tray also always rots on an XR3 or an RS Turbo or 1.3, whatever. This tray is original. That is 100% certified original. That is not being replaced, and it's in fantastic condition. When we use the dry ice blast to get all these surface contaminants off, I want to see how much work there is to paint. Now, if we went down the sandblasting route, we have to paint it.
Yes.
So this is like railing it back in a little bit with removals of all these oils and residues, and then preserving the OE finish of the car. So where it's nice and white and shiny here, I'm quite happy to have the odd chip and mark in this engine bay. This is not a concourse build, but to be able to say to people, yeah, it's never been painted, is quite exciting.
Dry ice back to originality, basically.
So we're going to use modern day technologies to hopefully sympathetically lift the appearance of under here, and then yes, if there are areas that are really horrible, I'll get them repaired now. Whilst the engine's not in the car, it's the safest time to do it. So yeah, that's the whole point of this video, is to talk about, have a good look round. Jamie's going to show you all everywhere where this product is emaciated. Next video will be when the dry ice man's here, to remove it all.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to do another video on the engine
of that.
removal as well.
Yeah. So what we'll talk about now is that although we sort of know what's going to happen with this, what else have you done today to get it to this point? Because
I've removed,
covers off.
I've removed all the valuables. So there's a few one-off pieces. There's actually a lot, as I've discovered.
There's a lot more. In fact, you were just saying about this being
EFI Fiesta Turbo in there. And then the size of
the size difference.
So this was bespoke to the 1600i. This whole contraption, different to XR3, different to RS Turbo, just different. Everything's different. So the pieces that are one-offs, twin coils, fuel metering head, fuel pipe system. I've never seen a set of fuel pipes that aren't kinked or messed about in this level. They're clips.
Lovely, aren't they?
It's lovely. So this is all coming off, and then this engine is going to be restored, put on a block, put on an engine stand and sat on display.
Yeah.
So this will all be made lovely and ready to return the car back to standard such the day come.
Yeah.
So this will be completely untouched. It will be nice.
Yeah.
You're going to have all these aqua blasted. It's all going to look lovely and then just assembled and sat in the corner pretty much next to the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
The turbo
so
engine
cool.
is well underway. That's going up on the engine stand this afternoon. We're just awaiting some pieces back from the aqua blasters. We're just awaiting for a cam belt, kit, a water pump and some gaskets. When all those parts come, I'll happily assemble that engine on a stand somewhere.
We'll have it here.
Then that's that job over there. This job here will then be underway next week. And as I say, I don't mess about. When I plan to do this, I've planned this out over the next few weekends of this is what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. Did some ECU shopping on the weekend. Looked at various options. We're going to go down the Link Atom route.
Oh yeah.
George has advised that from the garage.
Yeah, from the garage.
It's an entry-level ECU, but then we're not asking for anything fancy out of this other than reliability. So that's what we used on the Series 1 RS Turbo, was a Link Atom ECU with a bespoke wiring harness. Now, that harness was made by a company that no longer want to be involved in Fords anymore. So George has offered to take a Zetec wiring harness where there are some similarities, so connecting onto modern day injectors, but a lot of the other plugs are different. So we're going to reuse some of the wiring loom from this car and some spares that I've got to make all those sensors become active once we plug them into the aftermarket loom. Going into a lot today.
Yeah, good.
Baffling everyone.
What I will say though is if people didn't remember or they didn't watch the last video, that's not a factory engine. It's got a lot going on in it. It's not just an RS Turbo engine.
Wasner piston, forged, Farndon rods, 1600 steel, forged CVH with a Newnham high lift cam setup, solid lifters and a vernier. So
it's a lot going on.
It will make, like on a low boost setup on a T3, 200 horsepower with ease. So this is not stressed, because we all know a standard engine will do a 200 horsepower. Yeah. This is going to do it with ease and with usable torque curves. It's all right saying, well, my standard one was doing 200 horsepower in 1992. Yeah, it was.
But this would be like just breathing on the engine to do that.
Like trying to hold on to something that wasn't that pleasant to drive back then. With this, it will feel linear. It'll feel like I always go back to it. It'll feel like a standard Mark V Golf GTI.
Yeah,
that nice linear power band.
Love a Mark V.
But it's obviously then, should budgets change and tastes change in the future, we could pop a GT28 on the front of it, go for some tweak mapping, and you'll probably see mid-2s with some... And I'm being realistic now. Yeah. People, you could get 300 at... No, I'm not interested.
Mate, 300 horsepower through one of them, are you having a laugh?
It'll blow the transmission into 2025.
Yeah.
There's no point. For me, I just want a nice, usable 200 horsepower setup that's also fun to drive. And I can be bouncing off the rev limiter when I feel like it, making pops and bangs out the back.
That's the thing, like this engine, and just bringing it back to the whole ECU thing, that's why I brought it up in this video, so if you haven't seen it, the ECU then mated with that can produce a very
reasonable figure,
constant car, with good figures.
We're actually homing back to the car that was lost. XNG was set up in a very similar fashion to how this will be. We've just had confirmation from George that we had 550cc Bosch injectors, which were equivalent, I think he said on the phone earlier, to a Mark 1 Focus RS Stage 2 tune. So that would have been around the late 2s, early 3s. So we're in the right ballpark of where we're going to go. 550cc injectors, aftermarket ECU setup, T3 turbo, but presented looking like an RS1600i Turbo Technics car. So that's how we're going to have it.
Yeah, I like that.
Hard pipe down here, over the side. You're still going to have that beautiful finned RS Motorsport rocker cover that obviously sits here. So yeah, it's going to be a nice thing. Also, when going fast,
you need to stop. That's always good. Which sometimes people really do forget, don't they?
These are from M-Tech, and these are a 2-wheel drive Sierra Cosworth disc. So as fitted to a 3-door Sierra, a 2-wheel drive Sapphire Cosworth, or indeed an RS500. So they are the discs that would have been fitted.
Yeah, big ones.
Coupled to that are some 4-wheel drive. This is going to confuse everyone.
Yeah.
4-wheel drive Sierra Cosworth brake calipers. So that would enough front of an Escort Cosworth or a 4-wheel drive Saf. You would have had these calipers. Now, someone many years ago was messing around with obviously some components. And I would love to know this, how did they realise that the Mark III Escort would accept those calipers and then with those discs over the top without any adjustments?
Yeah. Someone just had all the spares and had a go, didn't they?
It's like a washer's thickness of difference which you have to add, and they're just on the car.
So 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive,
4-wheel drive, single pot Cosworth calipers, connected to what would have had a 2-pot.
Yeah, 2-wheel drive, disc on a Mark III,
running 4-wheel drive pads.
Right, okay.
Right, so and it just bolts straight over the flange.
Oh wow, that's
it's meant to be.
interesting. Yeah,
very peculiar. So parts bin raid.
Cool.
Someone many years ago realised that would work, and then the price of these bloody calipers were.
Yeah, I know. I bet they did. Yeah, because everyone was putting them on this, weren't they?
It's a nice period crack, and the best thing is that's the largest disc you can fit under a 15-inch wheel.
Yeah, so the other thing I was going to say is all of that combined and it still fits under a standard wheel is hilarious. Like it was actually meant to be.
Now, I have warped many of these because you get really used to the stopping power.
Yeah.
For the first lap. And then after that, they don't look like that anymore. They do warp quite badly. So, yes, it's not the best brake kit to fit on one of these. But it's
OEM.
It's a nice sympathetic upgrade. The parts are in stock at Jimmy's house always. And yeah, so it's having those installed too.
And it's sort of original. It keeps with that originality of the vehicle and going for like an OEM plus build past what it is now.
New shafts in stock too, rebuilt, because I cannot be doing with changing these after I've blown them out. No, so we've got 2 new shafts ready to go back in with the turbo engine.
Cool. That's good.
Another thing I found that I was going to discuss with you today is drove down the road the other day.
Yeah, look at this.
And this is now fitted to the car.
Oh, here we go.
So, the box is cool though, isn't it? Like an original box from way back when. It is just cool.
On its trip back here.
Here we go right round RS Owners Club.
And if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you'll have seen my plea. This is a genuine, with Ford keys, even rusty from the parts binlet, fuel cap. So,
look at the absolute state of
brand new Magoo,
new old
in
stock.
the box. Yeah, absolutely.
That's like
fantastic.
Do you know when you said about that, you were like, I don't even want to put it on. I just want to put it on the shelf and look at it.
You should see the one that I did fit. So to get the car here, because I took it for its last drive.
Last hurrah.
Before the resto. And did I just call it a resto?
Don't call it a resto. It's not a resto. We're not. That's not what's happening here.
Check this out.
Oh, look at it!
Wow. So this was
a piece of engineering.
This was a 25-year-old in a very stained packet fuel cap that you would have bought from a Motor Factors for like a fiver to get you home.
Yeah.
So that got removed
because, and have you said why you did that?
Because it fell out.
It fell out. It fell out this one time when you filled it up.
The original Ford one that was there, which was nothing wrong with it. I've obviously gone to the petrol station in a bit of a hurry because it's leaking fluids and it's cutting out. And I'm just stressed and I need to get back to work. I need to get there. the car's getting to Rookley, and I've gone like that, gone right, and off I go, and then I've got back, and I've gone,
How have I managed that?
there's a hole in the car.
Right,
okay. Retrace your steps, don't you? It was literally like a mile.
Yeah.
But it was, if you remember, it was around the time when the weather was at its peak, windy and rainist. So
And it's just
it's gone
forever, innit?
So thus a £75 eBay fine.
75, as much as 75. Got a box though. Look
got
at
a
that.
box, yeah.
That's a £75 box in my books.
Obviously, I'll be keeping the box.
Yeah, bloody right. Put it on the shelf and it's nice. Look at
I
that.
didn't see that before.
Oh, what's
So
that?
that was £5.
A £5.
Someone's got a lot of parts from, yeah. They've
Wow, that was £5.70. Wow, someone's making some money. But that is the RS and Cosworth world, mate.
It is, mate.
And old car world.
Ford Escort World.
So very exciting. The next video you're going to see though is the engine coming out.
Yes.
Is the idea. So this is, you know, remember what it looks like now. Remember how much is off.
3 volts.
Yeah. Well, yeah. To be fair, it's actually not that much. Is it? It's not that far away from coming out. Radio and that's out. It's all on the floor there. Yeah, exciting.
I'm really excited.
Really excited.
Yeah, I'm in the zone.
I'm buzzing.
I think you probably thought I wasn't going to bother.
No, I was really worried that this wasn't going to happen.
And I just texted you
And
this
we're here
morning with a
again.
picture of the.
Like, look what's
you need
happening.
to come and get your camera out.
Yeah.
Because we're making some waves.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we are.
Very
see you on
excited.
Saturday for the engine swap.
Yeah.
Swap.
Can't wait.
Engine
Swap.
removal.
Engine removal. It's not a restoration. Shh.